Hello, good evening. This is your STV News at 6, live from Edinburgh. Hearts' financial crisis has deepened, with the entire squad being put up for sale and the club seeming to shift the blame onto its own supporters. Management at Tynecastle confirmed a shortfall in funding, but said the biggest threat to the club's survival was the hesitation and inaction of fans who haven't bought season tickets. It's understood they now have until the weekend to raise a six-figure sum to pay players' wages. Andy Chambers has the latest from Tynecastle.
Hearts are a club in need of money, but now it's not just merchandise they need to sell. In a statement on its website today, the club said that due to recent unexpected circumstances away from Tynecastle, the club is now experiencing a shortfall in funding. This shortfall has created a significant noticeable blockage in projected revenue streams for the club. Given that the revenues for season tickets has dried up and no other realistic income is available quickly enough, the club will consider offers for the players of the current squad. That includes the likes of youngsters such as Jason Holt and Callum Patterson.
One of the main revenue streams for businesses is through transfer income, and as such we put the notice out, and if there is any club that is going to make realistic offers, and I'd have to say it would be realistic, we certainly just wouldn't sell any player for next to nothing, then we would consider such an offer.
In the past, Vladimir Romanov has placed blame at the feet of the media, the SPL and external forces. Now the club say the current crisis is partly down to fans' hesitation in buying season tickets, fans that have already dug deep into their pockets for the club.
You wouldn't invest in something where there's no security, so why would you buy a season ticket where you're not guaranteed that you're going to get one match to view next year, let alone a full season?
But you can't keep fulfilling a club's potential by blindly throwing your money away.
You know, obviously Hearts are in a difficult position, and the fans, because of the uncertainty, are maybe not buying season tickets the way they would have in past years.
STV News also understands the club need to raise more than £100,000 in order to pay player wages due this Sunday. Now, if unpaid, that wouldn't in itself force the club into administration, but could lead to further sanctions from the SPL. The head of a supporters group hoping to buy Hearts says the blame lies with the club's owners.
I think absolutely no blame whatsoever should be laid at the Hearts fans. They have been asked for their support on a number of occasions over the last 18 months, and not only have they provided that support, they've provided that support with a significant number of bells on. The blame lies at the owners of the football club, not at the fans.
A Scandinavian consortium also hoping to purchase the club have told STV they are now entering direct talks with administrators in Lithuania with a view to buying a majority shareholding. But it remains to be seen what state the club will be in should that happen. Andy Chambers, STV News.
And we'll be live at Tynecastle with more reaction to those developments in tonight's sport.
Good evening. We return to the troubles at Hearts, and as we heard from our reports at the top of the programme, the financial position is perilous, the club saying in a statement on their website that they face a shortfall in funding, and STV understands that they do require a six-figure sum before this weekend in order to ensure that the players are paid on time. And we're joined live from Tynecastle now by the journalist Stuart Bathgate. Stuart, are you surprised by both the substance and the statement from Hearts today?
No, in one sense it's a statement of the obvious. Hearts are short of money. That's why they have been unable to pay the bill from Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs recently, and why they have struggled to meet other bills in recent months. So that's not a surprise. What is partly a surprise is the timing of it. Previously they have allowed wages to go late and admitted later on that they haven't managed it. At least now they're being proactive. They're saying we're struggling to meet the players' wages on time. We need to do something over the next few days to ensure we get that paid.
So what's your assessment of how the next few days might unfold then?
Well, it's not so much the next few days that are crucial, because the players are used to having their wages late, and if the players were to get paid in full, say 3 or 4 days late, they'd be thankful that the wages were there in full as opposed to complaining about the delay. The crucial timing, I think, is the end of the month. Foundation of Hearts, the group of United fans organisations which want to buy the club, have said they will put in a bid by the end of the month. And so I think that process is crucial, getting in a bid on time, because it's obvious that the current ownership of the club have run out of ideas, run out of funds, and it's time to hand the club over.
From that, it would seem then that there is a route out of the financial position that the club currently finds itself in.
Yeah, the route out is simple. Well, in practice, it's maybe not so simple. find agreement with UBIG, who are the company that own Hearts. Utrio Bankus as administrators. Utrio was run by Vladimir Romanov, now administration. Utrio Bankus own 30% of the shares, UBIG own 50%. Get agreement with those two, you've bought 80% of the shares in Hearts, and you can move forward.
Okay, Stuart Bathgate, live from Tynecastle. Thanks very much for joining us.
Hello, good evening. This is your STV News at 6, live from Edinburgh. Hearts problems continue to mount this evening with the news it's once again failed to pay its players on time. The Tynecastle club has been hit with another registration embargo by the SPL as a result. Serious doubt now hangs over the future of the club, with a six-figure sum due in wages and unpaid tax. Dave Donaldson reports.
Tonight, Hearts fans will attend a meeting at Tynecastle aimed at saving their club. But this afternoon they were dealt another blow after Hearts were hit with a registration embargo after failing to pay their players on time. A statement from the SPL said, "The Scottish Premier League has been informed by Heart of Midlothian FC that the club has failed to pay a number of its players on time today. This is a remuneration default in terms of the SPL rules, and the club is therefore subject to an automatic transfer embargo while that remuneration default continues." The embargo comes just 24 hours after the shocking revelation that every single player at the club is up for sale. Hearts are £25 million in debt. Some feel they may have no choice but to take what they can get for their squad.
There's always been a lot of interest in the Hearts players, especially the youth players. There's some cracking youth players there, and we think there'll be a lot of interest in these guys.
One member of the squad who won't be going anywhere is Danny Wilson, who only signed for the club last month. Wilson could have brought in a significant fee, but Hearts have still to register him as a player, meaning he can't be sold. One chink of light in an otherwise bleak situation is the prospect of a buyer for the club. A group of Scandinavian businessmen, including 4 Norwegians and 2 Swedes, have been laying the groundwork for a bid for the club for the last 11 months. However, that may be a case of too little, too late. One former Hearts captain speaking on Scotland Tonight last night says administration may be the best option for the club.
I see them being in the SPL with a points deduction, and I think that, you know, Gary's right there that it's not a nice thought, but it looks as if they'll be going into administration at some point between now and the start of the season.
Hearts once again find themselves in a precarious situation, and the next few days could have a huge bearing on the club's future. Dave Donaldson, STV News.
And we'll have more on the developments at Hearts live from Tynecastle in tonight's sport.
Yes, hello, good evening. And as we heard at the top of the programme, Hearts have been hit with another registration embargo after failing to pay their players on time. It comes as fans are due to meet tonight at Tynecastle to discuss their plans to save the club. Well, for more on this, let's cross live now to Dave Donaldson, who's at Tynecastle. Dave.
Yes, around 350 Hearts fans will attend a meeting tonight to try and save their club. Of course, Hearts lurched further into trouble today after being hit with a player registration embargo from the SPL for failing to pay their players in time. And of course, it comes just 24 hours after the club announced it's put its whole first-team squad up for sale. Now, of course, some fans have become disillusioned after being accused of not doing enough to help their team, but these fans are hopeful that something can be done to save their club.
Hearts fans are just praying and hoping that Hearts are going to survive and make it through this. You never know what's around the corner, but at the moment I think this is serious and this is definitely going to happen, whereas before you've heard of reports of the Hearts going under, but I think this time it's serious and we need to get our act together and come out and support them.
I hope that something happens, because I would hate to see it, you know, disappear, because I think, you know, that it's been in the brink before and it's came back. You know, how often does this have to happen before something's done?
Well, Hearts fans, of course, will be arriving here shortly for the meeting, which takes place in just over an hour's time. And, of course, today's news is just one of a number of problems for Hearts, who, of course, can now not bring in any replacements for the squad, who, of course, are all up for sale. Now, fans arriving for tonight's meeting will be hopeful that something can be done tonight to try and signal the end of a catalogue of problems for their club. Back to you.
Okay, Dave Donaldson, live at Tynecastle. Thanks very much.